Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica if you're new, and I live in Canada, in Ontario. I am a civil engineer, and on this channel I talk about my hobbies, and this is one of them, the knitting. So I like to knit, to cook, to make flower arrangements, and to garden. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of highlight of the garden in the summertime, which starts right now in Canada. So for us, summer, you can say that it's mostly in July, which brings me to this episode that's going to be mostly about knitting. I want to show you my summer tops that I knitted so far. But like I said, for us, summer it's a short summer. And what are my plans for the future? And summer knitting, it's a great thing even for me, because the plus is that you don't have to do sleeves, and that makes the process much faster, and you can always wear a jacket or something, so it's a good layering piece even for me. So I love summer tops. So I will show you now what I knitted so far, and then we'll get to the work in progress in a bit, which I'm so excited to show you. But first I'll try on all the summer tops that I knitted so far, so you get a better picture of what they are. So my first knitted top was for my daughter, and she calls it the ice cream top because it has this color, and it's basically a t-shirt. And it has here an I-cord edging at the neck, and at the bottom it just has a little bit of rib, and so is at the sleeves. So I'll put it on and then I'll show you how it looks like. So it's a drop shoulder construction, and it's knitted in DK yarn, because at the time I was more of a beginner knitter, I would say, and I thought that DK would go a little bit faster, and also, like I said, it's Canada, so it's not that bad. So that's how it looks like. I also knitted a skirt for it because I love knitted skirts. So that's how it looks like. And I think they are very flattering on the figure, and my daughter loves it, so she can wear it with the top if she likes it, or separately. She wanted a little bit longer than what I would have gone for, but it's her top, so her choice. At the same time, when I was knitting that for her, I knitted for myself this one. And her construction was in pieces and a T. Mine is with the sleeve, how you call it, with the satin sleeve. So it has the round in here and then the sleeve, and mine has I-cord edging here and at the neck and at the sleeve, and at the bottom it has some ribbing and the I-cord, but it's knitted in a round, and I found that it was a much better choice, and I love it. It's so nice and comfortable and soft. Like, the main reason why I knit is because of the natural materials and the quality of the yarn that you can pick, and also the fit. So let's move on to my next top. Okay, so it's this one. So all three of them that I didn't use a pattern. They were just my creations. And for this one, it's also a creation that I came up with. So this one is knitted in a round. And for the pattern, it has those rows of pearl stitches. And for the sleeve, what I learned from my previous experiences is that I still like a sleeve. Like, I don't really like a tank, although I could knit tanks too. My daughter doesn't prefer tanks, which is kind of strange, but what I like about this that I only casted off 10 stitches in the underarm, and then I went straight, and I just made like a tiny little sleeve here with the same eyelets that I made at the neckline, and that kind of closed the armpit so you don't see so much like you would see on a tank. So this is my most preferred kind of a sleeve so far. And that brings me to the work in progress. So for the work in progress, now this one's a thinner yarn also, because I realized that I like for the summer to have like finer yarn to go to the fingering, because it would make a much nicer fabric for the summer. And even for the winter, I find that the heavier sweaters that I have, even in Canada, I don't use as much unless I just go for a walk or I go outside. But when we're in the car with the jacket and everything, I always reach for the thinner sweaters, except for the middle of January when it's -20, but mostly the thinner ones. So I have this mercerized cotton that I picked up at the thrift shop, and I love knitting with cotton. With any fiber that is natural, it's such a pleasant experience. This one is not natural, but I rescued it from a thrift shop, so I felt like it was a good option. And also I have, where did I put it? I have a lot left. Let me show you. It was this monster of a skein, of a cone. But the yarn is so thin that I had to do it double. But I'm left with so much, and now I want to make a skirt with it, because I think that a skirt, like a bookless skirt like that, would look pretty. So that's gonna come next. I wish I could knit all the time, but there's life also. I picked up in Toronto when I went to the knitting loft this yarn that has linen in it. I'm so excited to knit with this because it has cotton and linen in it. It's called Sannes Garn Thin Linen. And it has 53% cotton, 35% viscose, and 14% linen. And it feels so pleasant. And I also picked up this Sannes Garn Sunday, which is also a very thin yarn. And it's 100% merino, but this will be probably going into the fall because I think I'll make a longer sleeve for this. And now let's talk about the work in progress. So first let me show you the pattern. This is called Magnolia Summer by Camilla Wad. But I didn't tell you why I got into patterns made by Camilla Wad, because that's not the story. I wanted for the longest time to knit something that is top down like a yoke sweater, which I was intimidated for the longest time. And I picked this pattern, not the brightest, because I will show you. I picked this pattern by Camilla Vad that is called the Field Sweater, and I decided that that's how I was going to learn how to make a top-down yoke sweater. But what I didn't know, it was that all this are cables, which made it not the most pleasant way to learn how to do a top-down sweater, but I made it. And I fell in love with the construction because it sits so much nicer on the shoulder. And especially if you have like a little bit of a bigger shoulder, it just sits so nicely, makes it so much more feminine. So, and then it's all made in one piece also. And what I also like is that you can use your yarn going down as much as you have yarn. So, now I picked by her because I liked the fit. The fit was amazing. I picked this, but now I learned better to get a top that has the construction in here without any pattern. The pattern is at the bottom. So now I can do my increases and everything in here in peace without being disturbed by all the cables and all that. And that's what I did. So let me not lose my stitches here, and I'll show you my work in progress. First, it starts with doing actually the neckline. And you can see how prettier it looks now with the fingering weight and so much crisper to work with a finer fabric. So it's longer here at the back and shorter at the front because it sits better on the body, covers better the back. So it starts with the ribbing. Let me put it on so you can see it. The final neckline is going to be set when it's going to be finished at the sleeve. But it's brilliant. You just make a circle, and then when you reach this area here, you just separate this area here. You put it on scrap yarn, and that becomes the sleeve, and the rest becomes the body, and you just knit it in around all the way down. And the sleeve is already in here. I just have to finish it off how long I want to do it. She has it a little bit longer than I will do it. I will do it a little shorter. And the way you do the increases, so first the neck, then the short rows, like it just means that you make rows that they don't go all the way to the front. They're only like till about here, and then you gradually do. They're called German short rows. And after that, it just has this increases, and you would have increase rounds. And in the increase rounds, you just know for your size how many more stitches you need to increase. Like for me, it grows by 25 stitches every time I have an increase round. And to get to the appropriate number, it gives you like a formula. Knit 2, make an increase, knit 3. Or for another row, it's knit 1, make increase, knit 6. And you have 7 increase rounds, and in between the rounds, you have 6 rows of just knitting in the round, just stockinette in the round couldn't be easier. I just marked them down like that, and then I crossed them off. I don't know if you can see them, like right here. Make 6 lines, then cross them off, and that way I know that I knitted 6 rows. So now I am at I did the 5th increase, and now I am doing those rows in between. So I have to do 2 more increase rows, and then I am done completely with all the sweater construction from the top. Could not be easier. It's easier than the raglan when you have to think about where you make your increases. So when I will get to the splitting, I will show you that stage. And then for the lace that's at the bottom, it has a description in words of how to do the lace also, and it also has a chart, but it doesn't look very complicated. It just has knit purls knitted together, yarn overs, and something called NUPP, which tells you how to do it. I will show you when I get there. Mostly on my channel, I don't like to make long videos because life, and I have 2 kids and work and all that, and I like to get the message across as fast as I can, so I mostly do shorts, but my shorts don't leave you in the middle of everything with nothing to take away. Like, I try to condense everything in there so you have everything you need. And if it's a cooking thing, I believe in customizing. Like, I don't give the exact quantities unless it's a baking recipe, which you obviously need exact. And my cooking style is mostly like what I would call it the 2.0. Like, you take a classic recipe, but you're trying to adapt it so it's a little bit healthier and a little bit faster to be done, to fit our lifestyle nowadays when it has to be done for dinner on time, and we're trying to be a little healthy here if we can. And for the gardening and the flower arranging, I just make like a pretty arrangement from the garden, whatever is in season, and then I just try to find some music to go with it, and kind of to uplift us, the spirit, to see something pretty, and then I'll put them in my house in different places. And I also make arrangements for some people at work. I have also a gardening job. So I go once a week, every other week in the summer, to take care of some gardens in a big commercial place. And I have some ladies in there that would appreciate some pretties from the garden. So I make them some flower arrangements. And I also make some flower arrangements for the churches. And so yeah, that's about the flower arranging. And then I go every day in the garden and I look at what's in bloom and all that, and I try to condense some videos or some pictures or some garden highlights. So if you like what you see on my channel, you can consider to subscribe, and yeah, we can share the things that we like in life. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.